got changes going on, guys. So come on in so that you guys can hear what's going on. There's a lot of moving pieces, so I want to make sure that you guys are informed, and especially those of you who have been waiting on your service, waiting for the right time. It's going to get a little more complicated now as we move forward for you to even get that done. So what I mean by that is the way you pay. The way you pay is changing, guys. So that means that you will no longer be able to just go to our website and just start your process anymore. We're going to be implementing some changes to that. So, and that's going to be implemented, I forgot the date that they said, but we will be sending out an official communication this week in regards to that so that you know what to do. So if you have been considering getting a service done from us, if you've been waiting for the right time to do it, this is the time to get it done, because after this, you're going to have to deal more so with money orders and things of that nature and cashier's check, because we're a government, so we have to do what governments do, and that means that there's certain process that we have to carry out, and we try to fight it, to be honest, so that you guys would have the flexibility and the convenience, but it is what it is, guys. So as we continue to build this nation, as we continue to move forward, there's just certain things that we have to do to be able to serve you guys. But yeah, you know, we know it's easy to just go get your card and make payments, but now that we are moving into bigger territories, there's just certain things that we have to do. So if you have been considering, this is the time to do it, because after this week, and following after next week, you will have to go probably to the post office and get you a check to do anything with us. We are working with some other people to see if we can still make certain things a little more convenient for you guys. But after this, it is what it is. So go ahead and get your services now that we still have the option available for you to just use your card. But again, after next week officially, there will be implementation where you can't just go to our website and submit your payment there. So if you guys have any questions about that, I am here before I start my next meeting in about 20 minutes. So if there's anything that you guys wanted to touch on, give me one moment. There we go. So if there's any questions that you guys currently have, and in regards to time frame, you guys, we are also going to be updating those because it's just not cutting it for our team. You know, as we continue to try to train, try to serve, you know, we have set certain expectations that just now aren't really as flexible for us to serve you guys and that expectation at the same time. So time frames will be changing as well when it comes to getting certain service done. That means that their time is going to be increased. So that is also when it comes to expedited services. So if you haven't been listening, guess what? It's going to take a little longer now, even so, because we're moving into different territories and we have to carry ourselves a certain way. But it's also good change. I think as we bring on new team members, as we bring on more people to serve, we have to work in a way that serves everyone. Those who are on our team, those of you who are seeking services. So we have to train them. We have to make sure that they have what they need to be able to serve you. So it's just a different ball game right now. So yeah, so again, if you've been waiting to do your screening, if you've been waiting to start your process or any process, whether it's business, citizenship, anything that we offer, you're not going to be able to do that on our website as simply as just going to aboriginalministryofjustice.org after next week. So if you want services, I would say get them done now, because if not, you're going to have to find a way to get those checks to us a lot. It's not going to be that easy. And as we move forward, there is going to be a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say restrictions, but it's going to be more limited on how we do certain things, just to one, protect our nation, and two, protect the people who are serving. and those who are also coming into our nation. So again, that's what this is about. But other than that, guys, it's been great. How are you guys feeling today? You know, it's like the second day of July, right? We're past the middle now, right? We're past the middle. But I'm hopeful for this month. I'm hopeful for the rest of the year on as we continue to break ground for our nation, as we continue to break ground in what we're doing. It's challenging, to be honest, because we are moving into uncharted territories for ourselves. So there's a lot of learning going on as we move forward. There's a lot of new process we're looking to implement. There's a lot of technology that we want to bring along as well to create more, you know, better experiences for those of you who are inquiring services. So there's just a lot that we're doing. But if I always say, God put a giant in front of you, it's because he knows you can slay that giant. So that's what we're here doing, slaying giants, guys. But I hope you guys are doing well. Tribal meeting will be coming up this month. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, I recommend going to aboriginalministryofjustice.org, going to the bottom and putting in your email address. That way you're able to keep up with communication. You can also do that by, I think there's a link in our bio for that as well, but make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you also save our email address in your inbox, not in your inbox, in your contacts, because if you don't, emails will go to your spam folder and then you may miss important communications. So to prevent that, make sure you are going and saving it just like you would save someone else's, you know, person's information. You will do the same thing in your phone and so forth. And you can also do that on the email list as well. That way you're not missing communication. That way things are not going to your spam folder, because if it's not saved, that's how stuff goes to your spam folder, guys. Now, the next meeting will be next week. We will be sending out that communication later tomorrow or on Friday so that you guys are aware of that. But this upcoming meeting will be pretty much covering these topics in depth when it comes to what's going on in our tribe and in our nation as we move forward, future projects, services, things that you guys may have questions about, those of you who are already in our tribe. Also, we will be starting a regular meeting for, what's the word I'm looking for? Education. I think a lot of what we're doing, a lot of you guys are coming in and you still don't quite get it. So we will be incorporating a regular meeting of just going over our rights as Indigenous people so that we know how we should be moving and have clarity and understanding as we do those things as well. That is something we know that we have to implement as we continue to go forward, because there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of people trying to create tribes. There's a lot of people just doing what they think they need to do. And then it puts a lot of people in danger, whether they're in our tribe or not. So we want to make sure that you guys are being protected when it comes to the information you're consuming and having clarity so that you can detect what is actual facts and what is just someone's opinion in regards to this type of work and this type of way of living, because it is a lifestyle when it comes to how we move in the world. But that being said, guys, again, if you're just tuning in, changes are coming, meaning that you will not be able to just go to our website and make payments moving forward. You will have to do things more so with a cashier's check or money order, and that will be the way we handle most of our business moving forward. But we are working with some other companies to see if we will still be able to have some flexibility for those of you who are considering that. But this is time to get things in order, guys, because to be honest, I don't see things getting any easier. The easy ship has sailed, okay? That means that you've been sitting there waiting. You're gonna have to put some grease, some elbow grease into that thing now. Like, there's no more chilling, I'm gonna do it later. Like, you're gonna have to go get it done. We will work on giving you guys multiple options. However, like I said, the easy ship has sailed. Now, that's a good thing though, because I feel like when that happens, it takes away a lot of people, which is a good thing, because I think sometimes people think numbers are important, but imagine you being the wisest one in the ship, right? On the ship. And you just have a lot of people, but no one knows what to do. They're just everywhere, but it's a lot of people. I feel you can do a lot more. Let's say it's just 3 or 5 than having a bunch of, maybe let's say 100 people in place on a boat that is confused than 5 people who know what to do. The max for me, like that's what I want. So we're not so much concerned about the numbers, because we learned that there's a lot of people who have a lot already and don't know what to do. So we're just here to make sure those of us who are on this journey, continuously moving forward, understand how to move and protect ourselves. Exactly. And that's something, I think is big on what I've seen caused a lot of the fall of previous situations that we've either been a part of, or just history itself, is people never understanding, because you've been so distracted a lot of times by looking outside. You don't realize like the enemy has crept in. You know what I'm saying? So we need to get better at our screenings. We need to get better at vetting people who are coming in, not just because you are Indigenous means we are a good fit for you. If you're problematic, if you're someone who loves chaos, this would not be a good fit for you. So I would tell you, save your money and take it somewhere else, because all money and good money over here. But nice, congratulations, awesome. He said, I just filled out my application and sent it to you guys. Well, we will be touching on that soon. Congratulations on that. So the classes that we are talking about that will be regular will be more so around Indigenous rights. Those will be public classes. That mean that anyone can join, whether they're a national citizen or non-national, meaning just someone who may just want to tune in. Those will be open to the public, because we do feel like the noise has become so loud in regards to these topics that it's just a lot of people creating more confusion. So we want to deal with that, and make sure that our people are not getting caught up in that problem. So we're going to be having regular classes on that. A schedule will be going out, like I said, within, what's today, Wednesday. So by Friday, you guys will have more details on that. The way you stay up to date, guys, is making sure that you are subscribed to our newsletter, meaning that you are getting regular communications via email. Again, if you haven't done it already, please save Aboriginal Ministry of Justice, just like you would a regular person, in your phone or even in your email. That way, communication is not just going to spam, okay? That's how you prevent those types of things. That's the way you get information that you actually want to receive delivered to your inbox without any issues. So make sure you do that. But there's a lot coming up, guys. I mean, I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot, because we're dealing with a lot. We just hired a couple new people. They're doing great. They're looking forward to serving you guys. So you guys will be hearing, different voices on the lines and things of that nature. And we also have more availability for appointments, guys, because we were getting slammed that appointments were going so far out that it was like, how are we already booked for 2 months in advance? And that's because we had limited capacity. So we couldn't serve people in that week as efficient as we would have wanted to, but now that problem has been resolved. So you guys can go to our website and book appointments, and you'll get assistance a lot quicker than probably last month. But excuse me. But as you guys continue to trust us, as you guys continue to use us for, I guess, let me just break it down, because I think sometimes people still don't understand like what it is that we do, right? So when it comes to Aboriginal ministry, guys, it's very simple. What I mean by that is what we do is we assist you. And what I mean by you is we assist people who are looking to exercise their indigenous rights and have a advocate, have a reference point, have a voice in a government capacity to do that. Okay. What I mean by that is the issue is for a long time, our people have been operating in a world without a bulletproof vest. And what I mean by that is, and I always use this, but I'm going to use it here again, is think of a government like a bulletproof vest, right? It's man-made. However, it is a product that is created to protect from adversity. So governments are created to protect the well-being of people that it governs. That's what it's supposed to do. Now, we as a people have not had the best experiences because we've been, and I don't mean this, and I don't want to offend anyone who may be foster parents or maybe someone even in foster care, but the reality is most of the time when you are a foster kid, you're not really getting the care and love that you would if your parents were healthy. Let's just put it that way. So for us, we've been foster kids in other people's system. That means whether we've been living in North America, Central America, now South America. Now I'm happy I touched on this because we've had people who sometimes reaches out to us from different places, like different islands in the Caribbeans that are still there. We aren't really able to assist because I'm trying to make it simple. So some people are already a part of indigenous systems, meaning that their system reflects them, okay? So even like Africa reflects the people that are in Africa. Like all those countries have governments that reflect them. However, for most of us in the Americas, that is not the case. What I mean by that is in most of the parts in the Americas, we have systems that are created primarily by the people who colonize our lands. So an example of that is me. I'm someone who was born in Central America. Now, I am technically a part of the Caribbeans, but the system that runs that territory or covers that territory is a Hispanic system, right? So even though I'm a part of that or connected to that, it doesn't reflect who I am, right? Same thing here in the United States. You have a system that reflects Europeans, right? And that's not here to attack that. That's just what it is. So the similarities is the system, although you have access to it, doesn't actually bring community or bring a voice that you feel is natural to you, okay? So this is why indigenous rights is so important, is because now it gives us the ability to understand that we don't actually have to live in the world like that. So these are going to be the types of topics that I will cover and maybe have other people who are, in our nation cover as well. But for the most part, I will be hosting that class. But I just want you guys to understand, like, it's not that things have been bad. It's just that okay, so this is a very common question that we have when it comes to reclaiming our lands. So you have to ask yourself, reclaim your land, what does that mean? What does that look like? Because the reality is many of us have family members who already have land. It's not reclaiming the land that is the thing that you need to do. Right now, what we actually have to focus on is building the institutions that can manage those things, meaning that can work efficiently to show the world that we don't need to be babysat. Because if we get land, the county would still have full control of that. Until you can show that you are competent in this world, you're just talking in circles when you talk about reclaiming land. So we all have land. I'm sure there's someone already in your family who has land that no one is doing anything with. So that is not the issue here, guys. The issue is not that we need more land. Land is there. It can be bought, it can be inherited, it can be transferred. We have land. Please stop repeating what you keep hearing on the internet, because people who don't know anything about life is trying to teach you. Because guess what? With land right now in your possession, just means you have to pay taxes on it. That's all it is. If it's not developed, you're just paying taxes on something that can be taken from you. So is that actually solving the issue? The answer is no. Okay, so this is why we have to do what we're doing. Okay, that is why we are here. We're not just here to give paperwork, but before we can even have conversations about these bigger topics, we have to fix the root problem, which is our people have been misclassified. And by misclassified, that means that they're not able to exercise their right to self-governance. Okay, that is what we solve. That's the primary benefit, meaning that you come together as a community and you can make decisions that benefit you. That's it. That's what we do here. Now, that doesn't mean that everything's given to you. That doesn't mean that you, awesome. I can't wait for the classes. Well, we're looking forward to it. You know, we're still in the transitional phases of getting everything set up. But as soon as we have the schedule, you guys will receive that. But as I was saying, a lot of times what we've experienced is people trying to put the carriage before the horse, right? We can't keep doing that. It doesn't actually bring progress. So even when it comes to people thinking that, oh, we need the numbers, yeah, we do. But we also need people who understand the vision and the mission. Because what we're doing, it has to be a little bit more than money, more than land, more than, because to be honest, you will get kicked back. You're going up against systems that are used to you being a certain way. So there are certain things that you have to advocate a little harder for, but that is why Indigenous systems are created, right? That is why the Shamar Republic was created, meaning that as you guys move in this world, this is your government. And what I mean by that is we have people who are here working, meaning that they also have to provide for themselves and eat and feed their families, right? So that means, however, if we receive or don't get anything, those people don't eat. So some of them are even willing to say, you know what? I know what we're doing is worth it. Our team is not a regular team. Okay, this isn't people who are just coming in and just looking to get a paycheck. These are people who are coming to serve you guys. And this is, I'm saying this because I also want you guys to have grace as they learn, as they continue to try to assist us with making this system better, having grace, because I'm telling you the truth, like, like payday's coming up, many things are coming up, and we're looking at like, how is this going to happen? So when we talk about like how this is, but I also want you guys to understand, like, this is God's grace over us already, because the nation cannot support even the team. Okay, and I'm not saying that for pity. I'm just saying that as the truth. Like, this is not something people are doing because there's so much money in it. Like, I've had people try to come at us talking about don't take their money. I don't know. I'm telling you guys, that internet, man. I'm telling you guys, if you guys actually knew half of it. But that's why I know we have to walk with God, because only He can get us through all of this, right? Because at the end of the day, it is Him. Like, it wasn't me, guys. I'm special because God loves me, but other than that, I'm not that special. And what I mean by that is there is no reason why we should even be here right now. So whenever you guys want to get full of yourself, I really want you to really look in the mirror and say, nah, it's not us, okay? It's not us, because if it took our strength to be here, we probably wouldn't be here. I'm just telling you guys the truth. That means that the finances don't make no sense. The work that we do don't make no sense. The wisdom that God has given us don't make no sense, because there's been people who've been teaching this and trying to teach this information for a long time who just never made any sense. But when we speak, it makes sense. And I'm not doing it. Okay, I'm not doing it. It's God. So I really want you guys to understand that when it comes to the Shamar Republic and Aboriginal Ministry of Justice, is we have to. Like, God is not optional. Okay, I know that people try to separate spirituality and government, but there is no government without God. There is no. Do you guys understand that there's the bigger system that is a part of the society we live in? They're $1 trillion in debt, right? But they're still functioning. Like, how could you be bankrupt but still functioning? That's God, okay? Because you just have to. And people think, oh, well, you could print money, you could. No, it takes God to run systems, okay? There is no way, and this is why you don't see what you see with us as a regular thing. This is why you haven't seen Indigenous systems in the capacity that we operate, because our people for a long time have been trying to do this without the Creator. It's impossible. You cannot build a system by yourself. So when those people say, in God we trust, which was the foundation of their creation, regardless of what they did, regardless of how they felt, I really want you guys to understand why they said that. See, a lot of times we think that people are bad, right? We just see good and bad. We just think, oh, you're either good or you're bad. I want you guys to understand is, like, the reality is there is no good without God. Like, you can't be good without God. There is no real goodness in us as a people. So the illusion of you thinking you can be good is actually what makes you bad, because a lot of the issues that we have as a people, that I think even I had to dealt with, is I wanted to think someone else was the problem. I wanted to believe that it was someone else on why we ended up in what we ended up in within the Americas. But over time, God has revealed to me the only person I should be pointing a finger at is myself. And I mean us as a people. We should only be pointing our fingers at ourselves. Because the reality is, when you forget your God, meaning when you forget your first love, He leaves. He gives you over to your enemies. How can you think disrespecting, abusing, especially your Creator, but let's just say a person? Imagine imagine yourself, right? Let's say you are a good wife, a good husband, someone who is a good parent, right? Or a good friend, right? But everywhere you pour, you're being disrespected, you're being disregarded, your feelings are never taken into account. They're giving their time to people who show them they don't care about them. They're consistently chasing things, people that have no feelings for them. And you can see it clearly, right? You can see that their friends don't like them. You can see that the person that, even let's say someone who's cheating on you, you can see that that person don't care about that person. And you are like, but I love you. right? I love you, but you keep leaving me for that. Eventually, you will leave, right? Eventually, you will say, it's enough. Now, thank God that God isn't like us, because we probably would not take the person back. But the beautiful thing about our Creator is He says, if you seek me first, so He gives us another chance, even when we don't deserve it. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at. He gives us, like, you may never take a person back after they cheated on you. You may never want to deal with that person again. You may never want to see them. Thank God that God isn't like that. You need to thank God today and say, God, you know what? I've been complaining about my life. I've been thinking I deserve more than I deserve. I've been thinking that I am entitled to something when it's only you who put breath in this lung. Like, you don't even have to do that for me today. Like, we need to get more humble, guys. If we, especially if we want to see progress, I'm telling you guys, this is the secret. This is the secret. Okay? That's how you gain favor. That's how you do things that money can't buy. That's how you get into doors that no one can shut. You understand what I'm saying? That's how you come into the fruit and the inheritance that God has for you. By being humble, accepting that there is no good thing within you. Stop thinking that because you were oppressed, that means that you were right. Let's just be honest, guys. No, we are all evil. And what I mean by that is when you stop giving other people the credit for being powerful, you will realize that there is only one power. There is only one power. Okay? So let's put down the idols, especially if we want to progress. Because, guys, we need to progress. We're not doing something that's basic. Okay? I want you guys to understand, like, what we're doing is we're breaking down doors that we've never seen even possible. And we can't do that in our own strength. So this is not the time for you to be not aware of who's giving us access. You know, I wasn't even planning to do all this, but I guess God knew. He knew. But I just want you guys to understand, like, every area of your life right now that you're seeing that needs breakthrough, you can't do it. So stop letting people tell you to call yourself a God. Because if you were a God, your life would look a lot different right now. Let's just be honest. My life would look a lot different. I can't. I tried doing my own thing. I'm not good at managing my life, guys. I'm just being honest. I don't know how to run my life. So that's why I've surrendered my life to God, because He knows what to do with it. So what I mean by that is this is the season to seek His face. This is the season for you to discover truth again. This is the season to love truth again, because what is out there is darkness trying to get you to think the enemy has power that they don't have. And then they start to put the spirit of fear, the spirit of confusion, all of those things come on you. You know why? Because you don't like truth. That's how you get attacked by the enemy. You understand? The Bible says that God is the beginning of knowledge. Like, how do you think people that traveled as slaves themselves from another country, another continent that they were oppressed in, and created what we see today? Now, to us, it may look like, oh, they did that, but they were wise enough to put "In God We Trust" on their money. They were wise enough, regardless of whatever we want to think. They were wise enough to say, "In God we trust." We need to trust in God, y'all. I'm not saying that everything that has been done was good, but if we look at the Bible, what did David do? What did David do? David said he saw this man's wife taking a shower. He wanted her for himself. So guess what? He went and got her husband. You see what I'm saying? Like, There is no good guy in, like, stop thinking there's a good and there's a bad guy. No, there's only evil and there's good. That's it. There is no good guy. And if you're not walking in light, guess what? You are evil. I'm sorry. Maybe, yeah, you may not be stealing. You may not be doing so much, but you're thinking evil thoughts. You understand? So it's like you're bitter. You're angry. Those are not things of God. Unless it's against, unless your anger is against injustice, and not injustice where you get on Instagram or social media and be like, oh, hashtag such and such and such. That means you're not doing anything. Stop letting the internet fool you that you're doing something. No, injustice means you see wrong, you see it, and you want to do something about it, and you do something about it. That's when you are working in divine anger, I would say. Okay? But if you think you just getting in someone's comment saying, oh, this person is so wrong and that is so bad, and you're not doing anything, you're just convincing yourself that, oh, I see this and I believe this is wrong, but you're not actually making change. The enemy goal is to distract you from actually making change. You know what's so crazy, guys? Is we had an incident a couple weeks ago, which was in the protection of our people. Because that's what we do. We don't just do things because we think so. And some of our people turned on us, okay? They were like, you all go wherever, we're done. We said, okay. Okay, they were like, I want my money back. Da, 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 da. We don't even do refunds. We're like, take it, go. Some of them reported it to their bank, go. It impacted us, okay? We're not going to sugarcoat anything. That decision that we had to make affected us greatly. But we knew for the advancement and the protection of our community, it had to be done, okay? And that's what it costs sometimes. It costs your, like, you have to become uncomfortable. It costs you to do the right thing isn't always, see, that's another thing too. A lot of you guys assume when I do the right thing, people will love me. No, guys, people don't love you because you do the right thing. Especially if they're blind, they will hate you for doing the right thing. Even though they may say they want the right thing, that's not true. So you have to be submitted to something greater than yourself to keep going. Because if it's you thinking that you're going to get the applause of people and the thank yous and they're going to be so grateful because you made good decisions on their behalf, not everyone feels that way. Some people are blinded by the enemy themselves to even recognize the attack that's happening to them. And that's what I really want you guys to understand is whenever something comes up against us, stop in your tracks and really say, what is this really about? And a lot of time it's about you. It's not about us. So it's wanting to prevent you from gaining access to the truth. That's all it, like, pay attention to people who attack us. It's never that you guys are doing people wrong. It's always one, we either cut them off because they were trying to do something that wasn't right for our community. But it's never that we started to do anyone wrong. It's always money. People will tell you who their God is. And the problem that many people have is they assume that if someone doesn't, and I was guilty of this, right? Meaning that I assume that people who don't have resources were humble just naturally. Baby, some of those are the most prideful people you'll ever encounter. Like, I don't know about y'all, but the people that I've found to have the most pride, the least humility, the least accountability are some of the people who are the brokest. Okay, and when I mean broke, I mean financially, could be spiritually, it could be any of those things. So this demonic oppression that the enemy has placed on us in regards to thinking that people who have are just the bad guys. No, it comes in many shapes and forms, guys. It comes in many shapes and forms. You have to not see with these. You have to see with your spiritual eyes. Stop letting the enemy play games on your mind and start to see things through righteous lens, not just from what it looks like. Okay? Because the enemy will always, and it's so funny to me, because he doesn't, like, he has no new thing. Like, he does the same thing over and over. So once you get it, you will understand it like that. But if you're missing it, you'll always get confused. Always. Because it may look like it's coming from somewhere else, but it's like, no, it's just confusion. And you have to understand the enemy goal is he has to mix some truth in the pot with the lies, because only then will you believe it. So they start to put some truth in there and you're like, oh, there's the truth. The whole time, the whole pot is full of lies, but you're identifying the little truth because you haven't turned these off and turn on your God sense, because you have to have God sense, guys. You have to let God show you things, and not no third eye, okay? That's demonic. I'm sorry, guys, for those of you who may think you're doing something. No, we don't need, listen to me, guys. This is how we got here in the first place, okay? Let's put down the witchcraft. Let's put down all the things that we think are ours. And yes, they used to be. God took them for a reason, okay? If they were so powerful, they would have never been taken from us. So there are some people who, let's say you may come from a line of witch. It doesn't mean that it's okay. Stop trying to, because it's connected to you, you want to say it's okay. No. You have to be able to see right is right, wrong is wrong. Why is witchcraft bad? It's bad because you start to lean on that versus God. And this is coming from someone who, man, I would have fight you so hard. I would have fight you so hard on the universe. Okay, I was Mrs. Universe. Okay, you couldn't tell me there was a God. I was like the universe. Okay, but then I realized how that was putting me into a oppression that I couldn't even see. So just become lovers of truth, guys, regardless of who it comes from, regardless of how it looks. Just say, even if it's mine, what benefit does it bring to me? I'm always depressed. I'm always feeling like the world is beating me up. So I got to go conjure up some spirits to give me temporary peace. But it's like, there is no peace. I know this because I've been around people who practice reading cards, practice using crystals, practice all of that. And they are living in misery. Whether they look like it or not, I'm telling you that they are not happy. Okay? And they don't even know why. Trust me, I know why. I've been there. I've seen it. I know why. There's an oppression that comes with those things. Not just outside world, you guys. It's literally the enemy's tools you keep using to fight. And in your ignorance, well, I'm hoping some of it is in your ignorance. I'm hoping you're not actually just doing it willingly, serving the enemy. But if you are, I rebuke you because what is wrong with you? That's a loser, okay? The enemy side is a losing team. And until you accept that, because you know what I've learned too, is the enemy goal. He wants you to think he's so powerful. Like, so many people think that the devil is so powerful. And look at all this evil, and look at this, and look at that. He's powerful because you sitting down. That's the only reason. Like, the enemy has no power outside of you just not using yours. Like, I say, like, an example of this, right? We had our grand opening coming up. You know how many people decided they weren't going to come because they saw some noise on the internet? And missed out on being a part of history just because you let noise distract you. The enemy has no power other than you pausing. And the goal is to get you to at least pause long enough that the clock runs out. That's the only how. But for those of us who are walking in light, guess what? No weapon formed against us can prosper. And every tongue, everyone that look like me, that don't look like me, and every tongue that rises up against us, we condemn it. Because we know our authority. We know what we're doing. And even if we get kicked back here and there, we still know we're doing the right thing. And that's what I think many people have to get in their spirits when it comes to this information. Because if you're looking for an easy life, because a lot of people come up to us and they're like, are you guys federally recognized? And what they're really asking us, which God has revealed to me, is, do you have money to give me? I'm going to tell you guys right now, we don't. We don't have no money to give you. And it, oh my God, Holy Spirit, you're so good. It just reminded me of, was it Paul? Was it Peter? I think it was Peter. Who told the lame man to walk? I think it was Peter and John, right? Peter and John went to pray. They met an old man on the way. See, Sunday school is good. He stretched out his hand and he asked for a dime. But this is what Peter did say. Silver and gold have I none, but such as I have give up to thee. You see what I'm saying? Like, I give you guys what we have. We give you guys what we have. And what we have is freedom. The freedom that we have, we give it to you when you go through the tribal screening. We give it to you when you go and start your citizenship procedure. We give it to you when you go and start your business. We give what we have to you. We don't have money, but we have power, and we give that to you. But it's up to you to decide how you're going to use it. Now, if you don't want power, you could keep doing what you've always done. You know, there's many things out there already that can give you money, that can give you access to money that you may want. But this here costs. It costs sweat. It costs tears. It costs a lot of belief, a lot of walking without knowing. It costs figuring it out. It costs no one else to lean on. It costs you trusting in the God that sent you. That's it. That's all it is. There is nothing else. But those of us who are here, we are covered. And if you aren't here, we hope that you come along and join us if you are called for this vision, if you are called for this mission. Because what we do have, for those of us who stay and stand, is you have people who will not turn on you. You have people who, so even that, guys, please stop getting confused when you see people that look alike going up against each other. That's not what it is. Okay, stop thinking, oh, people divided. No, they're not a part of the same team. Okay, they're not. Just because they look like this doesn't mean we're a part of the same team. Like, stop letting the enemy, because I had to deal with it. That's how I know it's there, because I had to deal with it. I was Mrs. Pro-Black, okay? You couldn't tell me nothing. My people was me, okay? But God had to break that off of me, because it was an idol. It was an idol. See, you think idols are just a little, something that you can put in your house, right? No. Your idol is anything that you love more than God. That's what it is. Anything that you value more than God. So I was big on my people, my people. So God had to put me through some stuff to see, like, no, baby, ain't no your people, your people. There are some, but no. Because evil, and that's what evil tries to do with people of light, is it tries to get you to co-sign with it till the time comes, then it turns on you. Okay? And because you weren't discerning, because you wanted to be in, right? Everything that you watched them did, everything that you co-signed, whether it was with your silence, with just not being directly involved, they use. And they put that same thing that you know about them on you. That's what evil does. That's why it wants you there. That's why it wants you to, because guess what? That goal is because you're going to be so embarrassed. You're going to be like, I can't believe that I missed this. It'll shut you up. It'll let you run away. It'll create embarrassment in you. It'll create confusion in you. So thank God for God. Like, you guys got to thank God for his grace and mercy. Because he could have let you just stay. Okay, he could have let you keep going down those dark roads. But thank him for showing you people that were sent by the enemy to destroy your future. Thank him for the mishaps that happened along the way that brought you here. Thank him for the opportunity now that he has granted you with, because we are not deserving, guys. I really hope you guys understand. Like, this is, if you want indigenous people who are, we the best, blah. No, we the best. Let me clarify. I can say we the best, but not because of my strength. We're the best because we're the only one who advocating with God on our side. So therefore we are the best. Okay? That's why we're the best. But if you want people who are, we are this, we're that, you and them gonna fall down. Because not us. We are not, you won't get us to say it. You will not get us to go up against our God and steal his glory. Okay? Because if you were so smart, and this is for all of us who are indigenous, who keep thinking, rah, getting people hype on the internet is going to bring anything but chaos and destruction to them. I lost my train of thought, guys. But we just be watching. Listen, I just be watching y'all, and I be like, you know when the Bible says like 10,000 may fall? I'd be like, y'all keep going. Jump off the cliff. Because last man standing is who will, like, only time will reveal who is right. You see what I'm saying? Like, everyone thinks they could do what we do. You know what God showed me? He's like, one of the things that I've realized many people come up against me with is they assume that they could do my job better than me. They assume that I care about this title of chief. They assume that I made myself chief. They assume that it's a title that I just took. Not understanding, like, no, my people started calling me chief way before I wanted to even be chief. I never wanted to be chief. Let me tell you guys, it's not easy trying to figure out your life and other people's life as well. It's not an easy thing, okay? Like, this is not something I wanted because I understood the cost. But one of the things, like I said, God has revealed to me is the enemy sends people. He sends people my way. And it's always that they assume because I would say, I think I'm nice, right? Naturally, I'm a very easy person to get along with. But I think that confuses people because they assume that it means that I'm just naive or just la la la. Especially because I talk about God a lot. But you guys who know, Like, I don't know about y'all. Like, some of y'all, I understand, have never really met like real believers in your lifetime. Like, I understand, like, many of you have not seen real, at least in our stage of life, real what we would call Christians, right? You've seen the we gonna pray about it Christians, which are literally people, some of them sent by the devil himself, and you've let the enemy convince you that God believers, and I mean real God-fearing believers, are easy. Like, guys, I'm telling y'all, like, the worst thing you can do, I mean, you could fight anybody, right? I am a strong believer that you got a better shot going into the most dangerous game and surviving than coming up against God's people. Like, I don't know if you guys really know, but I'm telling you, like, the fear of the Lord needs to really come in to some of your hearts, because when you come up against God's people, you do understand you're making him your enemy, right? You do understand, like, you're not fighting the person, you're fighting God. Like, you're not even fighting me, like, you're fighting God. So when you do that, there is no chance for you. You see what I'm saying? So don't let these people bait you into fighting God's people, and then you end up. See, I don't think. I used to wonder. I used to think it was so weak. I remember before I had a full understanding of God and Him fully revealing Himself to me. Like, why would you pray for your enemies? Used to be a big thing. Like, one of that was like, pray for your enemies. Guys, when I got the revelation, when I got the revelation of what praying for your enemies means, it's because they don't know the backup you got. You see what I'm saying? Like, they don't know the covering you got. So this is why the fear of the Lord is so important, because when you don't have the fear of God, you will do foolish things. You see, I don't fight people. Don't ever think I'm out here fighting nobody. I don't have beef with no one. I don't care about people that much. Okay? Like, I don't care. So whenever you see someone trying to fight with me, they're fighting themselves. And God gonna beat them up, because I don't have a chance to fight. Okay? And don't get back in, like, y'all, you have a block button for a reason. Okay? I want to say that again. You have a block button for a reason. Use it. Stop letting people come on the phone that you pay, running your pressure up. Stop letting people come. And even if you see it, like, you can still block people even if they ain't in your comments. If it's something that you don't agree with and you can feel like it's trying to bring up anger, frustration, resentment, bitterness, those are tools of the enemy. You understand? You thinking that they're attacking you by their words, but you don't understand, like, no, they're building up something in you to destroy you. They're building up something in you. That time video that you saw, that wasn't just a person getting their way. That was sent to create that bitterness in your heart, to put that frustration there, to put that fear there. That, like, you have to recognize the scheme of the enemy. This is why I forgive people so quickly. You would think that I am almost a hypocrite the way I forgive people. Because when I tell you, as soon as an offense comes, done. I'm like, God, I forgive. And I've learned this, like, one of the person that I watch sometimes, that was a tool that I would say God used her to show me on how to forgive because I'm a person that I am very easy at holding grudges, meaning that you could do something to me, I will hold that forever. But I realized that that was a tool that the enemy tried to use to keep me bitter, right? Try to make me angry. I don't have time to be angry. I like being at peace. I don't want to be tormented up here with what nobody did to me. So now keep in mind, guys, forgiveness does not mean you give people access again. Okay? Stop letting people make you think that forgiveness means that all of a sudden you're going to go right back to the same people that hurt you or the same situation that caused you the torment. No, you just forgive them for not being aware in one way of what they were doing and recognizing that they don't have the capacity to hold you in any capacity. So you let them go. And that don't mean you hate people. You don't have to walk around hating people and wishing them wrong and all of that. Like, no, you just, this is why you have to, because we a lot of times want, God says, vengeance is mine. And I think what that means more than anything is not even what you think you want to do to them is as bad as what he can do to them. And I mean, that could be like giving them a good fake partner at the time, right? Let's just use this. You thinking they did you so bad. But what if you not try to fight them, but you send them on their way? They think they won, right? They think, oh, okay, I won, blah, blah, blah. But what if God has a witch right up there and he lets the devil say, you know what? Go ahead. A witch comes into their life, a warlock comes into their life and does more damage than you could ever imagine you would have done to that person. Destroyed them completely, right? That's vengeance. It don't have to look the way you think it needs to look. You don't have to see him. You don't have to see it happen. You just got to let people go, because the Bible says, if anyone returns good for evil, evil will never leave their house. You understand what I'm saying? Evil will never leave their house. So even if they're on the internet smiling, even if they're on the internet trying to act like their life is all together, but you know you did good, right? You knew that you never meant to hurt these people. You know that you never did. Let it go. The very people that they think that they're going to have as friends, they're going to be the same. Like God says, there's a part in the Bible where they were coming up against God's people. And I think it was Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat and the people ended up crying out to God and just worshiping. Now, these were like two groups, right? Teamed up. We're coming to attack them. And read your Bible, guys, because I could be lying too, but I'm not lying. But I recommend you read it. But as they worship, because they were a little scared. They were like, I heard these people coming to get me. What am I going to do? But they realized they have a God. So they turned around and worshiped God. And they said, as they worship, ambushment went out to the enemy. So that means that basically they started to turn on each other. And they killed each other. You understand that the very people that teamed up against you turned on each other. That's how confused they were in their minds. They were supposed to come and attack you. God says they ain't even gonna get there. But guess what happened? God said, y'all still got to go to that war. Go to that battle. So sometimes you still have to go. But guess what? They ended up picking up so much spoil, meaning there were so much jewels and riches that was left behind that they had to do it multiple trips. Like they had to make multiple trips to collect everything that God had left. People were dead. You see what I'm saying? Like, you all just got to sit by. At least those of us who are in here, stop getting distracted by the noise, guys. We just got to do what God tells us to do. That's all we have to do. We ain't here to fight nobody. We ain't here to prove nothing to nobody. God called us. That's all we need to know. He called us out of darkness. That's all we need to know. And we are protecting our rights. That's all we need to do. And anyone, I mean anyone that comes up against us has to fall. So I think it's actually very stupid in this season for anyone to make us their enemies. I'm going to just be honest. Like anyone that comes up against the Shamrock Republic, I just think you ain't got that much sense. Because, and you know what I've learned too? Is the enemy has convinced people, and this is what he does to trick people, is he convinces them that he cares about them. He convinces them that he has their best interests. He convinces them that, oh, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to make you rich. I'm going to give you that. You don't need God. Oh, Lord Jesus. I say, woe to you. Because when you realize the enemy just wants company in hell, you will start changing how you see the world. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about you. Like he doesn't. I've seen people that we literally prayed about, prayed for, prayed to advance, had plans for, to move into different spaces, turn against us for what they thought was money and protection, to now be broker than when they met us, go to destruction. I'm not making this up. I ain't gonna say no names, but I'm telling you guys, like, God don't like when you, because you have to recognize too, the enemy goal is to get you to bow down before you take up your cross. You know, I've had someone reach out once and they told us, they were like, why are you going through, because I mentioned in a video that on this journey, I faced eviction. On this journey, I faced things that literally, I'm not saying it to sound like, they were like, well, why didn't you use such and such situation and get yourself out of this? I'm like, because every man has to take up their cross. This costs something. This walk didn't just happen with lights and ribbons, and no, it costs something. Everything costs something. But the enemy goal is to get you to bow down before you take up your cross so that you lose. You got to understand, God says, what God gives adds no sorrow. Again, what God gives adds no sorrows, right? So a lot of times we have jobs that we hate and we think we're doing the right thing. We have situations that we hate, but we think, oh, but I really love this person. We have so many situations that pop up in life, right? You know what, guys? Let me tell you, because I'm going to go back to the eviction. You know that you can be doing the right thing for God, and life still happens to you. I don't want you guys to think that I'm trying to sell you anything, meaning that there is such a thing as you can do the right thing and nothing happens. Like, no. But guess what? That situation, that eviction that happened, kept pushing me to where I needed to be. I probably would have still be there. Let's say if nothing had happened financially, if everything was going good, I probably would have still be there. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be willing to take up your cross, because if you don't take up your cross, let's say you want it right now, the enemy goal is to give you things up front, but there's a big cost at the end. See? And many people don't want to deal with pain. I had someone tell me once, you know, they don't want to have kids because they don't want to go through childbirth. Was that someone said that? I think I was having a conversation with someone similar to that. And the person, and I always say, like, I've had 3 kids at home, okay? And I'm not saying, oh, it's no. Ooh, people be like, oh, yeah, you did that. Like, only God, okay? Because there is no right mind of mine that would want me to go through that. But what I'm saying is, once that feeling passes though, like even some people, they schedule their C-section, they schedule like anything to try to avoid the pain, right, of birth, let's just say. But guess what comes after that? What comes after that C-section? And there are some medical situations where those things have to happen, but I'm saying those who schedule it, right, they have pain. That's a surgery. I want you guys to understand, for those of you who don't know, a C-section is not just giving birth, it's actually having a surgery. So you may have not felt the pain of the birth up front, but now the cost is that recovery that you have to go through for that surgery, on top of delivering a baby, right? On top of getting yourself back in order. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, you have to, like, trying to avoid pain, trying to avoid discomfort doesn't stop it. It just prolongs the pain. But the enemy wants you to co-sign up front, and now you're stuck. God doesn't do that. He says whoever lays down his life, right? If you try to save your life, you will lose it. But if you lay down your life for him, you will keep it. Now, to some people, it's, well, why do I have to lay down my life? Because you're going to hell. You were born into sin. There is no good thing in us that can give us access. The problem is, you guys think that pay attention to the world, you guys. The world is so obsessed with you, only worrying about you. Just watch it after this. My feelings, my feelings, my feelings, my feelings. What I want to do, who I want to sleep with, who I want to be with, who I like. You don't make me happy no more. Everything is about self-pleasure, right? Everything is about you doing what's best for you. And some of you guys may say, well, I don't do what's best for me. Maybe that little comfort of being in that pain is what's best for you. Maybe you don't want to lay down and not have someone next to you. I went on a journey, you guys, where I literally was like, I don't want to be with nobody who is comfortable with me being broken, just to have some access to me. So I went on a complete journey of being celibate, okay? After having 2 kids, okay? And it wasn't because I wanted to be a virgin again. It was just, I needed that healing. I needed to stop using people. We all use people. Like, you have to deal with the demons of your soul. We are wicked. Stop thinking that anyone is good. Like, no one is good. You're not good. Okay? And that's the trap I think the enemy gets us in a lot. Is like, we want to see a good guy and a bad guy. Like, no, it's just 2 bad guys a lot of the times. Okay? Like, it's just that. One may be a little more wicked than the other, but it's still evil. Until you start walking in God, you will never know what love is. Only God, who made love, can show you what love is. And most of us we don't know it because we weren't raised in it. You see what I'm saying? We weren't raised in protection. We weren't raised in environments that nurtured us in a healthy way. So therefore, a lot of times, especially when it's God, you have to understand the enemy always creates something similar to try to distract you on what is God. He always tries to create something similar. Again, he disguises himself like light. Okay? An example of this is, God is a protector. What does the enemy have that's opposite of that? A narcissist. Okay? A narcissist, similar qualities in one way. You would see it as protection because they're very controlling. They're very You know, it looks like protection if you don't know light. So a lot of people end up with narcissists guilty because they don't know truth. Until you know God, you will end up always picking the counterfeit. Until you know God, you will always pick the thing that is sent to destroy you, because you can't distinguish light from darkness because you are not in light. It will always, always, always look similar. And that is to detour you. Okay? I want you guys to learn that the devil has no new tricks. None. They're the same from the beginning of time. They're very repetitive. Okay? I mean, sometimes he hits your finances. Oh, the finances. Sometimes he distracts you with an argument. Oh, this relationship. And it's like, guys, he's not doing anything new. Okay? Like, we have to get to a place that we are so comfortable knowing the enemy's scheme. Like right now, guys, we just hired more people to support what we're doing. And the enemy didn't want us to get here. And now we're supposed to say, oh, no. No. We know that God didn't bring us through all of that journey to leave us now. So we gonna keep marching. We keep going. And we gonna keep serving. But I don't know, maybe one of y'all needed to hear this because I was not planning to do all this. But that being said, y'all, be on the lookout for more communication. Classes will be coming up in regards to our rights, just so that you guys have clarity when you are out there advocating for yourselves. And stay close, guys. Stay close to God, because the enemy is busy. And I really want you to understand is his goal hasn't changed. He can't get you to do anything. He has to get you to do it to yourself. So watch yourself in this season. Watch the decisions you're making. Be mindful of the things you're doing. Like, don't do anything, especially, please do not make a decision, whether it's joining us or not. Do not make any decision, no moves on the board when you are scared. Please, please, because that has been one of the biggest things that has caused us to have setbacks. Is sometimes people are coming to us and they're so scared that they start to jump ship. And now you're just wasting our time. Like, do not make any moves on the board till you have peace within. And not because someone says to do it. Not because I just said, oh, you need to start. No. Go to God. Ask, is this the right time? Because again, we don't do chaos. Because guess what? You know what's so funny to me? Is that many people didn't know that once they ask for a refund, we have a no refund policy, guys. I don't know if you guys know that. We have a no refund policy. But we do refund people. Okay? We do give refunds. But guess what happens when you ask for a refund over here? Especially in the screening stage, because you want to break that violation, you cannot come back over here. We do not take playing with our time lightly. So if you think you won't play with our people, get them to do services, do their searches, do what they are here to do, and you gonna start playing those games with us, you end up cut. Meaning that you cannot join us 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 30 years from now. You done. So I say take it serious when it comes to if you want to participate over here, because we do not play that. You can ask the people who think they want to not be a part of us when they join. You get a judgment that you cannot join us 5 years. You have to wait 5 years to be considered again. Because our people are not here playing. They're not here pretending. They are here serving you. And that's why these things exist. Because we're not here to play. Some people may think that's too harsh. No, it's too harsh for you to be playing games with us. So We're not going to fight you for your money, ever. We don't fight you for your money. You're not going to hear us here, oh no, you did this, and no, you asked for it. Now you're going to deal with the consequence, meaning that you will never waste our time again. I love the people that serve us, meaning even me, my team serve. They show up and do what we ask them to do, and we don't play. That's what I'm saying. Like, so think very, very hard before you think about wasting our time, because we run a government in real time. Okay, so if you think $75 playing with us is worth it, I would say submit your payment and ask for it back. And then you will see that there is no future access. Anything you send, any payment you make will be returned to you. So yeah, find someone else to play with, because we don't play over here. We take what we do for you guys very serious, and therefore we expect that you take what we do serious. So if you are a person who is about serious and you want to be about your business, welcome, join us, be here with us. We would love to have you on this walk with us. Just go to aboriginalministryofjustice.org, and future updates on how to make your payments will be posted after next week. But for now, I would say take your time, go ahead right now. You still have access to complete things on our website, but the ways you will be able to get your services started will be changing very soon. Thank you guys for joining. Bye for now.